Schieltjoch kuri mils na floerain, alle miuntes rosen aan. Spinnushak vin lek ringu kjunje, kellar kulen koni aan. Ha in het Giannik Viannik spre aan schiske greetje ljoriskach, snip brechkend hale tamen voorn, mas nave junsi montjichas. Haar lonend halig jurisch vlaes, loop I barne vernen je, slip ingo faun se veld in vai, bi alte kaat vegorna gaan. En onze nauw veel goedjen kaum gelonig, laurig, kelverig, se ruik o sjoeloch, zondag reis ik sjelden jesku beve haun. Get lenning blirne skrieg schiers, chanisch in triane korig guif, ha maschenach vor haikes liefs, gebrachas niaf mi kolage. Skandoen min taan le toerach vlaat on goele karnes lone haun, ha spesje kacha shetanai, sheril kachaje konie.
Here's 60 projects that we pulled out of a hat. There's actually a logic to how it's going to.
I wouldn't mind doing a monthly feature on Lochmaddy. I'll talk to the team about that. And if other communities say, "Why are you doing a monthly feature on?" we say, "Well, you could do a monthly feature on you as well if you want. You know, just gear yourself up to."
So I think that could be really positive. Because it's a tangible spotlight and story driven. Not a kind of, and it doesn't need to, well, it depends what lens you look through, whether it's kind of incremental, tiny, baby steps change, or here's the kind of bigger picture.
And we've got material in here, because we've got 5 themes.
Oh,
so that's 5 months. I mean, a theme each month or something.
Absolutely.
So we're having conversations about changing the school transport policies, because at the moment the policy is only that it's home to school and school to home, and childcare doesn't factor into that. But then there's conversation of, well, if we change that so there's a loophole for childcare, what does that mean if a kid needs to get dropped off at granny's for childcare? So we're also looking at bus, like Freetown Borough, they've got loads of community buses, so we're having conversations with them, and there's a community group, have you heard of Coram? We talked about Coram down on South Uist, it's like it's got loads of branches. Anyway, they just got a bus. Ideally, there's an umbrella company or charity that gets a bus that I then have access to.
Where is the next, significant childcare provider?
But there's nowhere else that does after school. There's nowhere else that does wraparound.
On
North Uist and
Uist.
on South, on Benbecula, there's a child. Actually, she's very north of South Uist. There's a childminder. There's one childminder. And then Coram does after school care but then the transport is a massive issue for them. So this would be
so it's sort of
the only
provision.
provision.
So there's a starting point before you actually get here, and then here, well, what do you actually need to put in place? So there's a sort of practicality to that. So once you've guided people to the hall, then from ferry, and people understand that there's free parking here, you definitely need like large scale information telling you that there are these sequence of walks that you can take and they're timed, etc. And it's simple stuff, but
see, for you here, you're going to the Bernery Sound Walk, which was just launched beginning of the month.
Really? It's new.
And then I think when you're talking about the Mart, if you're talking specifically about Lochmaddy, of course, that is an opportunity, and you can look at the Mart in Fort William, other places where they do multiple things at the same place. So if we're just looking at infrastructure in place, and as I said before, the work said that the crofters would grow it if they knew they had a market. But there is something about the broadest church of land-based skills that could operate here, especially when you've got the Mart and you've got the abattoir, for goodness sake.
Yes.
A million years ago, when I was doing stuff in education with the government's programme, Schools Enterprise Programme, it was Lochmaddy Primary School who said, we've been doing a project on crofting, we don't understand why the shop's selling New Zealand lamb when all these sheep are in US and so on. These are primary school kids,
Yeah.
small number of kids as well.
Yeah.
So they decided to set up this company where they would buy sheep, have them finished, not them, obviously the crofter would finish them, and then they would go to the abattoir here and then they would sell the meat. This is primary school children.
Yeah. It's not rocket science, just saying, do that again, but grow it from something, find a leader to do it. So we think we can establish, let's say, a winter festival and a summer festival, and the summer being a summer sea festival, probably related to marine and water sports, etc., and growing that, and the winter festival related to light and fire, etc. And TC this morning have agreed to lead that. And so these are small things but big impact in terms of things in the programme and the kind of for the season.
Just building that enthusiasm is what's needed, and getting people back in, a lot of...
Yeah.
One of the strategies really is related to people. We've called the Big Afternoon out, I think we mentioned this before, and it's really related to people coming to Lochmaddy for a few hours of family activity. So, going to park in the hall, using the park, having a walk round, going to the wee pier, etc. Maybe walking out to Spanish Bridge, and then latterly probably coming to the hotel and kids getting an ice cream and a coffee and something to eat. So, there's enough of that's been told to us several times. I had a workshop with the kids at a class at the primary school. What do you love about Lochmaddy?
Ice cream. Yeah.
Get an ice cream, fireworks, lights, blah blah. Certain things, and that's informed obviously what we're doing as well.